Hey, Victory House. Hey, Alex. Your bike made it to Bar Hill Roman Fort yesterday, day before. I'm just judging there how sore my legs are, whether it was yesterday or the day before. Feeling quite Mick Taylory there. Morbid Angel. It's Money! We bit like Riff Raff. Is it Riff Raff? So I've done an E. Two minutes to Drinky. Hey, Scott. Hey, Victory House. Hey, Kick. Let's hear that one, Kick Ass. Quite obvious I've not played the guitar today. enough of that, I suppose. What's going on? Hey, Scott, Victor's Kit Kats. I'm just watching the huge fire in Glasgow Union Street as well. A light in the Central Hotel is next in the fire's path. That sounds pretty eventful. I suppose you'd be used to it being from the Shire. You know, it's like kind of most of it's on fire, burning witches and shit like that. But yeah, Union Street. Trying to think what Union Street is. I'm sure I must know what that is. The Central Station Hotel is next to the fire's path. Well. Was it the overhead camera of the world's smallest, saddest kettle? Well, it's quite a funky. It's a really small kettle. I will give it that way. Also, I was on the bucky last night, so this bottle here, although it's this full, I couldn't be bothered going to the shop. I basically slept all afternoon and just woke up, so I'm kind of a bit dazed. This is the remnants of last week's bucky, last night's bucky, and the rest of that Portuguese wine all shook together in one thing. So should I just down it all in a oneer and that's it? We just don't know. It's got slop. My new Honor bass was picked up today by my pal who lives in Birmingham. So I said, oh, right, okay, do you have to do it that way? Oh. I remember that being a thing. I used to have agents. Well, basically my pal Wayne down in Leicester, and he would occasionally do stuff like that. And I think I've done it maybe... I think I had other folk as well. Folk I semi-knew, didn't really know them that well, but it's like, could you pick this guitar up for me, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, close by. I've done it before. I've got folk in, the south side kind of thing. Oh. Whoa, the bucket. Oh, I shouldn't have put that Portuguese stuff in it. Well... It's giving me goosebumps all over. Kind of uncomfortable on my face, but I mean, that's... Geez, wow. You want a fight? Did you just call me a bastard? Yeah, not from the shadow. That's it. I'm watching the fire on telly. All right. All right, okay. So I figured it's like... To be honest, if I was out looking... Did you not say something about staying in Glasgow? I was thinking you were in some flat looking out the tenant, but... Top row tent, go up, the fire's getting another couple of doors closer. Better tell them on the live stream, or is it like, get your guitars out? I found out the Facebook group about SG is a lawsuit. Maya, £8 a win. Brilliant. Yes, it's a bit of a minefield to try and find the mad. Maya's maybe not quite. It's still a fucking pretty obscure. It's no Tempest or Yuzuki, you know what I mean, for total obscureness. I've heard of them. I don't really know that much about it. Was it made by Madeira? I don't know. But I mean, if it's 70s in Japan or 80s in Japan, it'll be amazing. It'll be as good as a fucking SG. You know what I mean? Bucky and Madeira, Christ about. That's worse than a... I don't know what a blastaway is, Sloaney, but I assume it's something... Yes, you picked up a bass from me. Great. Yes, okay, you did. That's right, I remember it. Matsumoku, well done. Kit Kats, oh, cool. Wow. 3-piece neck and all that. That'd be amazing. Hey, Yokum! Hey, Amp Wales! I didn't actually... I started to set up too late. I noticed Mr. Whitesnake's put up a video playing a Roadster, something about putting a neck pickup in, but I've not actually had a chance to watch it yet. So to watch that afterwards. Hey, Johnny Blackmore guitar or something. I've always wondered how they compare to the RG550. I don't have a 550, but I do have a 470, which is basically a 550, but doesn't have a scratch plate. They're going there. Just to talk about the Roadster. Yes. So when Steve Vai came in 1987 with his super design for a guitar with all these mad things, and Ibanez did exactly what they wanted. Mine kind of going along the lines of Ibanez were kind of already going there anyway. And basically they made the scoop a little bit deeper for Steve Vai, and they made the neck a different profile. Apart from that, it's kind of already all here. It's got the Floyd Rose, it's got the super lightweight, it's got... it's much more stratty. It doesn't have the wizard neck on it. It's got like a... But apart from that, it's just an... Well, it is actually an RG 530, so it's like this... Yeah. I saw your bass, Sloaney, another Encore P-bass. The thing is, P-basses are awful good. I've got a spreadsheet for who made what brand if you want a copy. I know this spreadsheet victory house. The problem is with all these things, especially, to be honest, I don't know. I assume it's just as bad as it used to be when I started looking up the Japanese stuff. I don't really look up anymore. A lot of things would be referenced back to half a dozen original articles that appeared somewhere, including the one that says that the Matsumoku factory were making Washburns, which they didn't, because we talked to the guy who actually ran Yamaki, and they said no, they didn't ever do that. So it was Chushin, not. But it's like, so you'll see Washburn and Matsumoku popping up everywhere. So there's a lot of things that were taken from someone going, I bought this Les Paul at the thrift shop the other day. It's a blog. I wonder if it's made in Matsumoku, and then that links the two of those things together, so it comes up later on going like that, pure blog made by Matsumoku, but it's not actually, the actual original fact doesn't exist, so I don't know. So some of it will be out of date, but it's always useful looking at it. Nothing else, Sam? Was you put up your Les Ball the other day? Oh, amazing, Johnny Blackmore. It's like, I'm in a quandary just now with the pickups. My pal, Mr. Whitesnake, is not in yet. I don't know, he must be smoking or having a drink. He's just changed the pickups in his. This is actually the guitar. I don't know if you've seen Paul Gilbert's latest video. He's got his new current guitars, like the PGM with the rails, DiMarzio activators or whatever they're called. But he's got one of these in red, the same colour as his new guitar with the DiMarzio activators in it. Basically this exact guitar in his last video. They are good. All internet things, pretty much, yes. Look at, I bought another Les Paul. I've got an Antoria Gold Top. Oh, one of my favourite Les Pauls I've ever played was an Antoria Gold Top, owned by my pal, Vintage Horse Racing, Gordon, who's occasionally in. I think he was somehow finding, I think he had old VHS tapes of horse races from the 70s and 80s, and he was putting them up on YouTube, and everyone was getting, he wasn't getting millions of views, but he was getting like a few hundred views and kind of a wee, he was making money at it, but like a wee community thing going, and then YouTube pure stopped him because it was copyrighted material. It's like the fucking horse race from 1978. But there you go, taped off the telly. The anniversary encore based on Made in Korea is probably, it's been a case queen all its days too, if not put down till afternoon. So it's only an encore name. Encore's good. Don't worry about that. You seen that? Have I showed that Encore acoustic Genbot? The one that looks like an Ovation? That's fucking brilliant. Paul uses it a lot when he dons a bucket. Right, okay, yeah. That. Sumbro SG, right, this is a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Wow, you're getting, it's amongst my worst eras you're going through, Sloaney. It's like when they're accumulating and you get to the point of, well, that's them burst out the cupboard, they're now just everywhere, so just basically there's not, I was going to say my kitchen, but no, there's no guitars in the bathroom. There's one in the hall immediately outside the bathroom, but I mean, there's not. That's like, so there's not actually any in there. I'm thinking, moisture in the air and all that shit. So, but apart from that, there's a guitar everywhere you look in here. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Right. That's what. Did I cut out there? No, I don't think I did. Okay. The guitars are Japanese made. They make fancy, yeah. You know what, Johnny Blackmore? You knew it was going to be a good guitar. I suppose you weren't really asking me what sort of quality it was. You were asking me what's the difference between this and an RG. It's more stratty. Hey, Mr. Whitesnake. Hey, Mr. White. Yeah, see, I forgot to watch your video. I was just too long setting up. I'm not sure. I was playing it there and it was sounding awful good, these pickups. I had a horrible thought I was going to do and I haven't done it, and it was like, I don't know, I mean, what do you think? I mean, should I put them in it? The thing is, I can't put Phil's pickups in this. Does it need? I don't know. The thing is, I need to swap this over for the red one and make sure the red one sounds better. If the red one sounds better, then I can't do it. Picked up a Honor Strat. Everything for £20. Well, that's how you go. Well, buy me if you want, but use it. Yes, it's a tiny wee sad kettle. It's only 1.5 litres, but also it's like a £50 kettle that I got at the car boot sale. The guy was selling for a £5, so it must have been good. So basically, the clip to release the lid, it was kind of bent or something, and then eventually I broke the top off it. So yeah, it's shite. I did for about a second. Look up the video of that Honor Pro SR Devil. Of course, is that the one? It kind of had like an extra horn here. It was cool as fuck. What did it look like? Was it a bit like a Roadster bass? But it had I'm sure it had an extra horn on it. The Devil, or was the Devil the? I had one that was kind of like a Roadster, like this, like a guitar. There was a bass that was very similar to my Vox bass standard. Was it a BBR? Did I ever own that, or was that my pal Buster's? Yes, I remember the SR Devil series. Alamo City cello. What part of Ireland are you from? I'm from no part of Ireland. Ireland's not technically that far away though. I'm from Scotland. Experiment, man, it ain't gonna hurt. That's yeah, maybe. Aye, depends what kind of experiments you're talking about. Hold on, I've just noticed something. Not all of you are being privileged for me to read you. Because Stevie, I have no idea what you're talking about. But when I find the thing that says top chat and I change it to live chat, then we can see everything. There we go. Now we've probably got more. Hey, Rathy, anyone else I missed from before that? Oh, can't remember that. The star-shaped one with the red binding, yes. Actually, we're all right. They kind of reminded me of I think they were actually Marlins, weren't they? At some point they became Marlins, or there was a crossover thing, kind of Marlin sidewindery. Good necks, but annoying the way you couldn't get bridges and stuff cheap, so they've got kind of annoying shaped bits that you should really just be upgrading, and it's like, but I mean, if you're talking about, if you can get one that's got like a bridge that looks the same as something, just go on Temu, you know what I mean? Or buy Wilkinson stuff. With Wilkinson stuff for what, 40, 50 quid will get you tuners, the electrics and thingies, then you can change the pickups. Pickups might be alright. We'll let the live chat engage, yeah. I've kind of missed everything, I think. But I mean, do these pickups definitely sound bad? I think I always felt this guitar should have chorus on it because it's so 1986. My two favourite guitars I have are a Japanese Fernandez Strat and my RG 560, so I reckon... what's the 560? I'm not that into it. I do know that I did end up eventually buying... Well, not including this, this is an RG, but you know what I mean. And my red one, I did end up buying a PGM and an RG 470. Lovely. Honor, going with different size hardware is a bollock, yeah. So it's just because you didn't have the choice of getting it cheap then. That's why, I mean, if you look in relative terms how much a cheap guitar costs now compared to what it used to cost, it's ridiculous. You know, I mean, you're talking about not really going to be able to get a guitar that's 100, maybe not £100 anymore, maybe 120, 150 kind of thing. You're starting to get Squires and Epiphones and decent guitars, kind of that sort of price. But that's how much Marlin Sidewinders were, like 199 quid or £249 when they came out in 1986, which is the equivalent of, was it looked it up, It was a few years ago. Maybe I was saying something. It was in 1983 to 2023. It was something like 3 times. So if you had a £300 guitar then, it'd be the equivalent of £900 now. So I mean, guitars are cheap. That's why when you start picking up, looking at things like this, which even full value, I don't know, maybe not in this colour, but you're still probably talking about £500 or something like that. Not insanely more than that. And so that's the, you know what I mean? But these new cost £500 in 1983, so this is basically a £1,500 guitar, like to get whatever the equivalent Ibanez or Japanese guitar is just now. So it's like, why are you even looking at other guitars when you should be buying these? Ever heard of peeling flesh? No, they sound good though. What was a band I wanted to see? There was some terrible. There was one that was Liquor, like Liquor, you know, Liquor. There's a band playing download called Pussy Liquor. It's like, oh, right, okay. I can't. There was another one that was funnier. I can't remember what it was. There was one that was something vomit. Was it Deadly Vomit? Toxic Vomit? I can't remember. I don't know what they sound like, but I mean, where's we go to? Where magpies will quirky guitars. I saw Kurt Russell smash 100 odd euro guitar to pieces. It traumatised me. Oh yeah, I've seen that in The Hateful Eight. Yes, that's when you see the girl who's getting beaten up at the time. She's got her teeth missing and bloody. You can see her going, this thing! And then kind of go like that and kind of go, fucking smash that guitar, because she knew it was a real guitar. He assumed it was a shitey one he was meant to smash up. A 20-pounder. That was pretty funny. Definitely better than a Curtin Gibson, yeah. Just noticed the lightning strap. I remember, I think it's actually a Fender strap. It was eBay one time, and you could get these straps, and they were only like £3 each. So I bought one thinking it was going to be crap, but it's got like leather ends and it's proper weaved. So I ended up with 4 of them or something like that. I just bought the rest of them and the guy had. 74 quid from 1987 for a little. Okay, maybe Marlin Sidewinders were cheaper than that then. I did kind of make that off the top of my head. So you're talking, well, even though 74 quid times 3 sevens are 20. So you're still a 200 and something pound guitar equivalent of. Aye. But I know, I think West Tone Thunders were like 149 or something like that. So I suppose they're half the price of West Tone Thunder. I don't know. Hofner Complete is going to be worth just for parts. It's a post Marlin SLG 2000, so it's even the rest of that. I don't know, Sony, yeah. But I mean, things are possible. You can move things about. Free beer always pulled a big crowd. Yeah. Who's called the special guest stars, yeah. Yeah, Mr. Whitesnake, the thing is that this is no longer my rig. I've been 20 years playing Valve amps. I'm not playing through any shite. Now, willfully using chorus and, well, modelling, I suppose. Rolling cubes are modelling, so... And maybe this is maybe a bit more... To be honest, this does scream... I've got a rack mount thing. You know, a big rack unit with a delay unit in it. It kind of screams that a little bit to me, just because... And also the fact that I just expect it to have chorus all the time. Looking at a Greco my back catalogue, F250 was 180 quid, 73. Well, there you go. How much was so that's a Greco copy of a Martin or whatever. How much does the actual Martin cost back in 1973, just out of interest? So it was 180 quid for the Japanese one. How much was the real one? Hey, Marcus Bundell, damn, my breastfeed is so random. I'm watching Shift from the other side of the world. Maybe you're just up at a strange time of night. Tarantino deliberately let it happen. About a Greco telly, very nice, yeah. And I kind of, you won't see many Grecos. I do have a Fernandez bass sitting over there, actually, a Fernandez PJ bass, like a 32-inch, but it's got a really thin neck, like a 1986 Matsumoku one. Lovely. Got the wrong pickup in it. But I'd actually found a pair of Fender Mexican Music Master bass pickups, or just like P-bass pickup set. So I'm maybe putting that in, that might be more like it. I upgraded them in because the guy, my pal who wanted his guitar upgraded, wanted more powerful pickups. And I don't think I want powerful pickups. I think I want weak pickups that I can hit really hard and make them distort on their own. But I don't really have very many Grecos because people know about them, they're expensive. I tend to have more obscure things. Kurt Russell is allowed to smash any... Well, I think Kurt Russell should be allowed to do what he wants. It's cool as fuck. I watched... what did I end up watching the other night? Overboard. What a silly film. But it's like... Actually, it's like... What was like watching it going like that? Goldie Hawn is genuinely hilarious in it. So there is actually such a thing as a proper funny woman. Not the Joan Rivers or the Ghostbusters 2016 type of funny woman. You know, a woman who's actually genuinely funny. Quite amazing. The West Tones are great. They're still kicking about, the West Tones. I'm actually going to get rid of a couple. I've got a West Tone Prestige that I never play it. I've got too many guitars, it's disgusting. All Lives Matter. That sounds about playing Jimmy. Can you play Iron Man for me? Yeah. Buy a USA Stratocaster. Unfortunately, all his Matter Japanese guitars are better. There you go. I know the Oxbud keys are accumulating a few quid dear, not much, but enough to justify the better prices. Things if you're hoping for a guitar to lose, you weren't looking for a nice one. Well, yeah. Oh yeah, but it's an all laminate. But I mean, the thing is, it doesn't really make any difference. See that wee Tirada I've got? That's my favourite acoustic, and I've got expensive. Well, I don't have Martins and Taylors, but I've got a couple of expensive ones, and it's all laminate, and it's just a wee thing, and it's the tuners don't match. And when I got it, it only had 4 strings, and they were all from completely different sets. I think there was a nylon one, a black one, and then like they're all in the wrong place. And instead of having bridge pins that had like, some of them were dowels and some of them were screws and bits of plastic stuck in it, and it's fucking amazing. Ugh. Bit of a K fan, but the problem with K's is just like I just know them as the same as anyone else, I suppose. Most of the wee shit G101, the cheapest acoustic nylon string guitar you could get, was made by K, and they sold 100 of them for every good one they had, and that's good. Has an annoying ghost note, so I don't play it. Sounds like you're get it set up, because it'll be something annoying, especially if it's your own guitar. When was the last time you went and looked at it? I've had such problems with guitars that took years to fix because I would fidget with it and try and adjust and everything, and just I'm kind of know I'm doing a bit more quite well with guitars now, but over the last 10 years, I just like kind of, once I learned how to do something else, it's like, oh, now I know how to do nuts. I had to go and do all my guitars, you know, it's like doing that. So it's like, you know, they need tuning. Oh. Prestige, you love those. It's a Prestige 227, Sloaney, not the common one. Oh, she was absolutely lovely girl, but she's so funny. See when she's, I don't know, it's so funny. I found out how much it was John Birch, $3,500, but it's like, yeah, but at least it's handmade, is it? I don't know. I've actually met the guy who, one of the guys who did his apprenticeship there. I shall name no names, but he never got to work on Tony's guitar, but he's worked like all the other ones. So, did you work on Tony's guitar? Like, no, it was John. Always like he was the star. So whenever Tony was coming in, it's like, you know, the boss would be in, and they'd be like, shh, no smoking, you know, kind of hiding. Yeah. Snow blinds, no disco blinds. You want more? It's down tuned to another plate in a strange key. Hey, John and Jiggy Blues, yeah, I'm good. Used to make guitars, I had it set up with a guy I did my apprenticeship with, so I couldn't figure out who it was. That's annoying. Because the thing is, it can't just be... It's the nut. It's the strings vibrating between the nut and the tuners. It's the tuners. It's the bridge. It's the saddles. It's the frets. It's the neck knot. It's one of those things. It's not like it's just like there is something. I don't know what it is, and I have come across guitars where no matter what you do, you just can't seem to fix it. But it's something, and it might be something that it's too obvious. That's what I kind of tend to. Once I've been getting really pissed off on a guitar for a couple of hours, and it's like you get to the point of just going, I'm not really getting anywhere. If I could just do something else, come back to it tomorrow, and sometimes or even. In the shower or something like that, be like, oh, I've never, and it was something really obvious, you know what I mean? John Diggins, possibly. Oz from 2027. Ozfest is back. It's going to be every year at Aston Villa. Right, I don't know. I did see that Ozfest was back, yeah, but I mean, what's that going to do to download? How can you have an Ozfest in somewhere where you can't camp? Well, unless I suppose you're just, let's be honest, you're not trying to appeal to kids, you know what I mean? Or still youngsters go to download because it's achievable. It's probably not achievable to go to Ozfest at Aston Villa when you've got, I assume it's going to be a couple of days. So you're talking about 3 nights in a hotel, blah, 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 travelling, blah, 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 food and all that. Whereas if you go to download, you can kind of live off beans and just, smuggle in 2 litres of vodka kind of thing. Lucille Bell. I'd see, I'm not sure who that is. I do actually think Lisa Tarbuck was always quite funny as well. Okay, there are funny women. Funny in a different way. It's mad, I've heard people putting a boundary. That's the ghost note. That's what depends how accurate. You have to do it with Fender Strat. See the distance between like the string tree and the nut. Is it the G string? It is an A. So if you ping it, it's an A, which means if you hit an A like that and then mute it, it's just going like a higher octave A, yes. And it's like some of the Japanese ones. I've got the one that I just thought that was a fucking stupid thing. I realised I never actually had any real Fenders. It's a Japanese Fender Photo Flame, and it does that. You're like, that pair, oh my god, it totally does it. And it's like, for some reason, the exact location at the string tree is exactly at the point where the string's in tune. Airborne last week to Southampton, but surely ACD must be questioning the similarity. I mean, they've been going for that long, Shaky Blues. They had a great song. One of my dad's favourite song. Something hard and tough, get used to it. No, there ain't no way but the hard way, get used to it. I mean, basically just AC/DC, really, but I mean, yeah, so what? We're good at it. Thought they go to Ozfest, these are more orthopedic pillows. That's where it comes in, yes. And you look at the glamping stuff and the caravans and all that. I mean, those are the only people that have got any money, unless kids have got hundreds of money. I certainly didn't. You know what I mean? I was going to Glastonbury with £20 in actual money, and then you kind of, you know what I mean? I had to work out that I had enough money to spend £3 a day on food, so I wasn't buying anything expensive. Oh. We're getting some extreme politics on today. What was it? I saw someone had mentioned. Who was it? It was a French news thing came up and it put for the code name the war, code name Epstein distraction. You're like that. Yeah, very good. But we don't talk about politics on here. We talk about guitars. And should I put should Phil be sold basically? Should the Phil Seymour Duncans be put in this and then sold? I used to, but to be honest, I only kept it because my girlfriend who gave it to me pure hated it. She gave it to me so I could sell it because she fucking hated it, and I kept it to annoy her. But that's in the past now. Never sell fit. I was talking about putting the pickups in it, see if they make a difference. Used to get my tickets for T the Park for free, but I bought my first ticket in 1995. The weekend cost £50 everybody. I don't know about the weekend. I can't remember how much it cost. I was at one of the first Teen the Park I was at was actually still in Strathclyde Park. Oh. Radiohead and the Prodigy. Oh. How do you feel about those pickups? Yeah, actually, to be honest, Civet said it was actually, she thought it was feel, as in the feel of music sort of thing. It was what they stand for. Oh. I'll just give the filter. Okay, raffle. I'm not doing that. No, I've seen Jen try and do raffle. She get banned from Facebook for trying to do a raffle when she was trying to give away a scratch plate or a picture. And like, because obviously it sounded like a scam. It wasn't, but you can't be putting out an offer for people who have to do it. Not that anyone had to put any money in. I don't know. Oh. Have you seen the wee guy from Manchester, Leonardo Patrick, some player for a wee chap? Never heard of him. Oh. When you moved to Balladoo, I went to one of the ones in Balladoo, and it was round about by this point had I been to Glastonbury? It was maybe the second year in Perth. I had the White Orion. I'd been to something. I'd been to Ozfest, hadn't I? I'd been to Ozfest maybe 98. So I'd maybe been to Ozfest like a couple of months before it, or the year before. So I'd already kind of realised that not everyone is Neds. And then when I went to that Tea in the Park, everyone was Neds. Everyone was Neds. And it was like, I'd just been to Ozfest 98. So you didn't really, heavy metal wasn't really a thing back then. You know, I didn't know what any of it was. And you got all the goths and all that. And those were so much more my people than everybody that was at Tea in the Park. The ones who were at Tea in the Park that were most like me were your indie folk. As opposed to being like pure, take it full of you know what I mean? Not those folk, but everyone at Ozfest, even though they may have been goths and stuff, were more like me. Yeah, not fitting in properly. Really enjoyed your vintage V6SH video. I love my Arctic White version, lovely. Pays 65. It is a bit, to be honest, it's pretty much the same guitars. The Westfield one's the same as well. It's like, the SG seems to have that thing that a Telecaster and a P-Bass have, where if you just make it the same as an SG, it works. There are some slight exceptions when you get the bolty-on neck ones, because sometimes they don't put the neck in the right place and it looks funny. But basically, as long as, you know, it's not that difficult to get right. SG's Les Paul seem to be a big difference. A jazz version of Children of the Grave. I don't know if I can. It's already pretty jazzy. That's just, it just makes me think of not breaking the law. Really, I've ever played that with chorus. I'll be damned. Here comes your ghost again. That's not unusual. It's just that the moon was full. You decided to call. And I sit hand on the telephone, hearing a voice I'd known a couple of light years ago. I said, I don't really know how to play bar guitar. Evidently. Teen Park reminds me of shitty bands like Travis, Keenan, Coldplay. I think they were at that band out. Yeah, I mean, I saw was that last one I was at. It was Ash and they were terrible. Robbie Williams was actually surprisingly good. The Seahorses, Travis, who had never heard at that point, they were fucking shite. I can't remember who was headlining or anything like that. It might have been Robbie Williams, I don't know. Anti-algorithm must not be tolerated. 1997 was the first year at Ballada, Kula Shaker and the Charlatans. Well, that must have been the second or third year I went to. I don't know. It's like I actually saw Kula Shaker before before that song came out. He was supporting Neil Young at the SUCC. So there you go. The Manics played Tina Parks. I never saw them. The Seahorses were great at Tina Park. I was at front for that. They were all right, actually. Yeah. You know where you're going. That's all right. I mean, there's kind of on the fringes of the whole Britpoppy thing. There's a couple of songs, bits I like. I think I'm pretty sure I had the album. I didn't really rate it, but there was some singles, kind of the same with Supergrass and Cast. There were some songs in there. There's an album or a double album of songs from that era that I do actually like in the category of stuff I hate. But there are some, the hits, I suppose. Tim Burgess. I saw the Charlottes support the Stones at one point. I always remember my pal Ross Neely took about the guitar as that appeared. The current song was called Country Boy, and it went, "Hey, country boy." It was like, up here, all right. That, you know what chords it is? I was like, no, and he went, "Hey, country boy." You're like, all right. And that's also, I use that technique for Iron Man in the Black Sabbath band. I be Iron Man. I be Iron Man because it's B. It's the first note. Children of tomorrow live in the chills that love today. I know they're not the best to give them peace in any way. Son of atomic fate. I return to back your back door, will they disappear? My favourite note in every song. Pulp were the best Britpop band. I do remember seeing Pulp. They had a song with a riff in it that I really liked, and I never heard it again. They played it on some TV show in the 90s, and I think it was a B-side to Sorted for Ease and Whiz. Was there a song called something like that? And it was like, it came in a single that you could fold up for Snorting Speed Off or something. I don't know. I didn't really like them that much, but there was one song that I thought was really good. I didn't hate them. I didn't see Oasis at Loch Lomond, but I was at REM at Loch Lomond, which I think was the year after, or maybe a couple of years after. Hey, Victory 86, I can get going now. Cool, I was waiting for you. The Shy Horses were Mark and Lard parody band. They did a great version of Supergrass, alright. Called Feel Like Shite. I like it, yes. The Shy Horses, okay, yeah, I mean... Fellas chose subject and mastermind was the Manics, and my pal kept shouted at the telly, well, where's Richie? What? Miss that new guitar? No, it's from 1986. Good, there was some good music written after this guitar was made. I'm in the process of deciding whether I should be putting pickups in it or not. Not really that enthused with these, although, even though I've never managed to find it since when I bought this guitar about 10 years ago, that Gary Moore did say, yes, I used the new Ibanez with the Floyd Rose, proper licensed Floyd Rose on it for my new song, Out in the Fields. And yes, I used it for the solo. The pickups, they look like EMGs, but they're not active. They're just Ibanez ones, but they sound great. That something along those lines was definitely in a newspaper thing, or I've never been able to find since then. But it uses it in the video. It's the one that's got the camera attached to it, because it's got a Floyd Rose. Yeah. 1986 was the year I started primary school. There you go. I remember 1986. My earliest memories from of there being a year and writing it down was 1985, and it rained, and then I remember 1986 because I had a sticker book called Football 86 that I completed. Oasis stole their entire thing from the real people. I don't really care. No, I got a bit. Someone was talking about Oasis, not online, and I got a bit angry about it. I'm sorry. Do you listen to the radio? I'm sorry, I don't. I was going to say, I'm sure there's a song called "Listen to the Radio." Turn up. What was that? Autograph. Turn up the radio. Gary Moore. Hey, Gary Moore. Dinner. Woohoo! You got a treat. Well, if your birthday and you don't have an entire 1986 guitar collection, what's wrong with you? Fucking amazing guitars kicking about 1986. I'm 78, so it's dead difficult to find. The guitars were expensive from 78. You can get crap Gibsons, or you might be able to get an Ibanez Artist or a Washburn Wing. They hadn't got really good at doing guitars yet. Those Parisian walkies, I like that. Oh, come on. It was worth it just to get the Parisian walkies thing. Well, Stevie, you can't buy it. What you just, I don't know. What you do? It's like it's not the thing it used to be. Just think if it had been born 50 years ago, you'd be dead, basically. 50 years earlier than you were. You've got a 70s Luscious SG, you've got a guitar that's older than you are. I do have a couple of guitars. I've got a couple of really old ones. I've got that Hofner Colorama. It's like 62. It's Stevie, don't worry about it. You'll be alright. One of my pals has recently turned 60. And it's like it's not funny, but I do wind her up about it a bit. Yeah. Where does he go for pee? Out in the fields. Yeah, it's good. It's not as good as your Parisian walkies thing, though. I'm trying to think of other. Heartbreaker. No, it's like, I'm trying to think of other. Corridors of Power. Like, I can't think of any Gary Moore stuff. Although I do like, if you ever see the album to get is Rockin' Every Night in Japan, over 45 minutes of rockin' music or something it says in the corner. And it's a live album. Ian Pace on drums, Neil Murray on bass. Can't remember who the guy playing the keyboard is, and Gary Moore playing his 61 Strat, and it's just nuclear assault and all that. It's just pure ridiculous, over-the-top super guitar playing, but done really sillily, not in that, you know, the way like Steve Vai and that tend to make it seem quite musical and a bit intelligent. No. Gary Moore's just giving it because it sounds funny and it really works. That's by far my favourite. It's like, I would listen to that album start to finish, no problem, anytime. I don't think there's any other albums I would get all the way through before I was going, something else on? Oh. Is it straightforward to change the action on the guitar? Acoustic, just tune the Allen slot? Oh, more than that. What you do is, see if you hold the E string down on the first and the last fret, see round about in the middle, that should be like not sitting on the frets, less than a millimetre kind of thing, ideally. If it's a few millimetres high, then yes, adjusting the truss rod, so it will be in there. We'll sort that, yeah. But if that's not the case, you'll just, if the neck is already straight and you bend it back, it'll just buzz like fucking never work. So, and when you're as long Obviously, anything's unreversible. When you're turning the truss rod, if you're having to put your whole weight into it, don't do that. So if you give it a quarter turn, or remember that, play it, and then realise you've totally fucked the guitar, just undo it and it'll go back to where it was. Yeah. Oh. I found some sheepskin seat cover at 45% off. Live chat. I feel I'm missing something. Oh. You met Ian Pace back when I drank. Me and my pal were hammered when we met him. Sent my copies of Machine Head and Burn. Lovely guy. I always thought he was, to be honest. All Kick Puppies. SV, SRV and Joe Bonamassa. It's a strange one. I can kind of see why you would put Joe Bonamassa and Stevie Ray Vaughan together. Or maybe put Eric Clapton in there. Being that sort of blues but fast and shite kind of thing that I don't like. I wouldn't have put Steve Vai in that. I've seen women's underwear half off. I feel we're missing some. Joe Boring Mass, oh dear. Have you read Scar Tissue? No, I know that's the song. Boring a bass. There's a very specific type of blues I don't like, and unfortunately Gary Moore does some of it. He has an album of it. That's why I never got to see Gary Moore, because it was always the blues, and it was always that thing which I fucking hate, which is obviously AC/DC, The Jack, Led Zeppelin, Since I've Been Loving You, The Stones, Midnight Rambler. They're always fucking on these albums. When my Bane when I was 18, fucking having that fucking. Fucking boring. It was a meet and greet deal. He looked baby was at 2 pissed teenagers who loved him. They kept telling him he was their favourite drummer, which is true at the time. This is 2007. He's a really good drummer, yeah. My mum saw Boring Bass live. Oh dear. Bonamassa's a boring guy. He's kind of interested in guitars and stuff like that, but it's just that whole thing, the geekiness of it. You can get into that level of geekiness with pretty much anything, but I mean, you're talking about, why don't you just do it with Ibanez Roadsters? If he'd spent 10 years, right, for the price of any one of his guitars, you know, I don't know, 10 grand or something, you could have like all of the Roadsters and they'd all be interesting and they'd all be rarer than that fucking Gibson, you know what I mean? It's like, but it's up to you. 8:45, is it? Oh, I'm feeling a bit rough. Rat pedal and engage humbuckers. It's not very loud, does it? What about you? Guy doesn't like roasters, we can afford them still. Well, I suppose that might be part of it. Although, Paul Gilbert's doing a bit of that. You're rough because you bitched Bucky. No, it's rough because I drank nearly a whole bottle of Bucky last night. Like a dick. I don't know why. To be honest, it was bought for tonight. And then it was like, I'm not sitting in the morning, I'm allowed to drink. Fuck it. Yep. Can't even pronounce it. Hey Ben, how's it going? It really is. It's making it last longer though because it's got that extra Madeira kick to it. Ooh, still getting goosebumps all over. Oh, I'm on distortion. What's this? The history is one. Stop to pull it from her. I don't know that song. Paul Gilbert was a thinking person's guitarist. I don't know. I wasn't really that impressed. I loved his videos and stuff like that, but I really didn't like him at Mr. Big. He was a bit of a dick. Well, he didn't speak around like that, but it was just kind of... Maybe just didn't enjoy that gig. Oh, it's a favourite of bank managers and lawyers, yeah. I suppose, but that's the thing. It's like being into the most boring stuff. Get the whole guitar in. Is a real advantage if you're wanting to be popular and make money, I suppose, and have a successful YouTube channel. Don't be interested in an obscure Ibanez that doesn't show up in the top 10 guitars of all time, but that's not a 1958 Les Paul. Why are you playing that? You should be... And it's like, well, huh? Pain is just weakness leaving the body? Is that me talking about... Do you remember any books like Dakota King? I do not. Or Encyclopedia Brown? No. Books I remember are Lord of the Rings. And then I went through a Clive Cussler phase. I used to start reading some of that again. I drink alone. The thing is, I've tried drinking alone. I remember, it's like the occasions when you're meant to be going out and it doesn't happen. You're like, I'll just sit. It's Friday night. I've had a hard week's work. I'll sit and I'll get myself, a bottle of Bucky, and it's like I'm sitting there, it doesn't feel right. I don't know, something wrong with it. There was a table full of 50s American guitars at that show last week. It took curious glance, but none of them were as exciting as the weird stuff I like. That's it, though, isn't it? It's like, but I mean, there's a certain amount of with like an old 50s guitar, but it kind of wears off. I mean, I still think there's a bit of a vibe to that. My 68 Gibson EBO, the SG bass, and it's like I've realised that it's just partly just because it's got that stupid fucking finish on it that it looks 20 years old, 50 years older than every other guitar I've got. It's like it's 68. I've got guitars at 72 and 74 and all that don't look 100 years old because they're Japanese, so they've got poly on them. So this still looks the same as it did in 1986. Well, it's probably gone a little bit yellow, but I mean, it's not pure falling to bits the way old guitars tend to. And I've got that 62 Hofner, which I'd still need to get a pickup done for it. Once I need to talk to John Letts. He sometimes pops in here. Next time he's in, he's probably sitting there going like, I was going to say hello, but he'd mentioned my name, so I'm not going to do it because I don't want to wire his pickup. But here we go. I've had a hard time selling my Westtone leader. Remind me what a Westtone leader is. I feel I should know. Have I seen it? I don't know. Probably just got a £50 second-hand Sub-Zero telly and played live last night at a gig. Proves you don't need expensive Gibson fan to be good. Of course you don't. No. Also, I think I might have seen that. The Sub-Zero telly. I forgot it was a telly. The thing about a telly is tellies are always good. Not having the Stratocaster bridge means that having a really, really cheap shit Stratocaster bridge, because it does things, it ruins the tone, whereas a telly, having a really, really shit telly bridge just means it's slightly thinner metal. So it doesn't really make any difference. The leader is Class 1 humbucker and a tremolo. Nice. I don't know it. Like the paddock, all right, yeah. Is it that shape? It does look like a paddock. Does it? I'm thinking of it being a bit later. I think it's more of an 84, 85 guitar. The paddock's an early one. And tonight's newsflash here in Stockholm, Big Fire Glasgow train station. Yep, we've got Sloanie's on it. She's already watching it live, but yeah, Glasgow Central train station, yes. That's the last gig we played was just basically there, yeah. Huh? Most of us are not that good, hence the need for better gear. But sort of, but I mean, I admit to spending enough. I don't do it the same amount of time as I used to. I used to spend an awful lot of time looking up guitars, not as much time as I did actually playing them. What you want to do is find some excuse to play the guitar, doing a YouTube channel, and then that makes you play. And now I am so comfortable standing for half an hour without booze and just playing the guitar and just enjoying it. Really enjoying it. It's great. You don't need better gear, you need more interesting gear, Mr. Whitesteak. If you feel cool, you play cool, you know this. You know what I mean? This guitar, I didn't buy this because I wanted this guitar. I didn't know what an Ibanez... I knew what a Blazer was. That was it. But I didn't know much about them. I didn't know it was Japanese. I didn't really know whether I would want an Ibanez, blah, blah. I didn't really care what year it was from. It was just look at it, for fuck's sake. I have to have that. And now, I love it. I used to always loved the way it looked. I'm not sure about the way it played. But now I think I'm a wee bit cheesier on the guitar, so it fits better. About a double cutaway telly, that's just hard to abstract. No, I meant like a proper double cutaway with none of that fucking arm contour and the comfy bits and all, a big plank of wood. Just with two horns, just like that length. Be cool as fuck. You trying it out the air fryer again? I did actually. I had the air fried chips earlier on. So many that I basically fell asleep. Yeah. Where to get good guitar pick for strumming? Oh, you mean plectrum? I like the .73 Atlas picks. I just bought a big fucking bag of them. They're my favourite. Been a while with the air fryer. I was always aware of the RG, and it was something, I don't know, just having like the fastest car in it. I don't really want a Ferrari, but I mean, it'd be pretty cool to have a short one, and if I could afford one, they weren't that expensive, I'd buy one just for the sake of it. My first Ibanez was actually, it was called an Antora Conservatory Acoustic, made in Japan, nylon stringer. It was alright. Had it for 2 years and played it once, so what's the point in having it? Vic, you think should have bought? What's Vic? Who's Vic? Never had one Ibanez. You should get yourself an Ibanez, Vic. That's the way you go. The thing is, Ibanez, they're all good. Well, yeah, they are pretty much. There's some amazing guitars kicking about out there. Ibanez at around about the £200-300 mark, without having to hunt particularly hard to get one. You probably almost choose what colour you want. And get like an RG 300, is it 340 or 321 or 350? Yeah, fucking pretty good. I'm building a newsagent vape shop and Subway. I don't know if Subway's particularly would Subway be flammable? I suppose it's got heat. It's got the source of the flame. Yeah, okay. A beauty business here, that'd be great. It's like up here. It's just like, oh, so it's hitting the nail varnish. Yep. Well, I have videos on my channel. There you go. Use it to play the guitar then. No, the way to play is to fucking play along with other people. That's how you get better on a guitar. Play with people better than you. Where it matters, where the peer pressure makes you fucking play the chords right. You can't do it wrong. If you get it wrong, everyone in the band looks at you and goes, fuck's sake, we're trying to get through this song. When you fuck up, everyone else has to stop. Don't fuck up. They don't say that, but you fucking have to. Oh. And the ability to play along with other people is greater than the ability to play lots of notes by tenfold. Hey friend, I've just watched a video about for 3 years ago since 2023. Huh? Blue Flames, nice. It could have been the Rangers shop though. False flag was outside ton today. So was there a football match on? I don't know. I remember was being very, very, very uninterested in the whole Protestant Catholic thing, and then going to work in the co-op. The first thing I got asked was, "Are you a Hun or a Tim?" And it was like, what? Because that's vitally important to a lot of people. Like, I don't know. What does that mean? Like, you put Rangers or Celtic? And I was like, right, no. I genuinely didn't know it. Didn't even know that. Managed to miss it. The Cat House is near there. We just lost another Glasgow venue. Well, I mean, it's like Central Station goes down. They all go down, don't they? Listed buildings get in the way of progress. Yes, they just go on fire. Oh. I never had a good night in the Cat House. I did see the High Llamas in there. And I wasn't into cool metal. I like Sabbath. I'm interested in fucking Metallica. Shite. Tantaria was the last one. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah. I do know it was really annoying that they burnt down fucking the ABC, which was the best, without a doubt, the best venue in Glasgow. Sorry if you had a favourite one, but that was my favourite. The ABC, MGM Cinema, was just fantastic. And then followed by the ABC 2, which was just as good. And then nowhere else was really quite as good. Never liked the Academy. Fire is spreading to Gordon Street. Oh. It's one of those things. I've got like a really spooky sort of 28 days later view from the top of my street of Glasgow, and I'd be interested to see if I can actually see the flames. Oh. I've used to love to play with the Green Day. Cool. I saw Green Day at Download. I don't know if I know how to play them. Stocked your first goth there, very good. The ocean had been rebuilt, not the yuppie school of art. Oh god, I used to go to the art school. Well, I didn't, obviously just for the union, but I mean, arty people. See, arty people, I was always very much against arty people until I realised that arty people are not arty people. People who think art is cool but aren't that way inclined are the people that are most of what they are. Some of them are actually arty people, and I think I get on with arty people. Because I am, but I'm not the one to look like I am. It's not important to me. First crowd surfing. My first crowd surfing was at Motorhead at the Barras. For about, I'm going to say 10 seconds, but it probably wasn't 10 seconds. 1, 2, probably 3 seconds, but yeah, did it. Green Day used to play the American Idiot. It got quite like that when we were playing them. It's like, yeah, we're not. It's like it became very anti-Trump when I saw them, to be honest. Hey, Erebus IP7, you sound like a sequel to Alien. Have you heard of John Butler, the guitarist? I have not, no. Oh, fires at the front of Central Station now. Shit's just got proper nasty. Are you watching some sort of stream live on YouTube? Wow. Well, it could take out Berkeley Studios. See, Berkeley, they have doubled the prices of all their studios just last week. That's nice. So it was literally £30 for 3 hours 6 months ago. And then it went up to 41 and now it's 65. And within a year, anyway. Rocking. So we really need to try and work out somewhere to get a drum kit in. I love an Ibanez guitar. If you didn't know, that's what I'm actually playing. The ultimate expression of craftsmanship. I have under 20 guitars. Well, we all used to be in your position long ago. Do you know where Lemmy got his name? Yes, I do. Hey, Andy, how's it going? Fire. Disco. Fire in the disco. Fire in the Taco Bell. Fire in the disco. Fire in the disco. Don't you want to know how his deep garden fires? It's my desire. It's my dream. Don't you want to know how it keeps down in fires? It's my desire. The Blue Lagoon ain't nice. Actually, me and my pal went to we were Stirling. Was it last Saturday? We went to this wee curry shop that's called the Indian Cottage. If you're ever in Stirling in this town centre, they do a lunch thing for £10, and it gets you like starter, a fucking chicken tikka thing that comes on a metal thing like sizzling, and an ice cream for like £10 each. We went there, and it was pure ram. There was folk waiting outside. It was like, oh. So we went to the wee Blue Lagoon thing, sat down, and it was £14.50 for a fish supper. Without a drink, without a pakora, without ice cream, and it was a fucking fish supper. Like, yeah, fuck that, so we didn't go in. Bought crisps instead. Oh, let me have a fag. That would make sense. Yeah, no, I thought it was let me a fiver. But I mean, that makes more sense. It makes more sense of as let me have a fag. Definitely. Because lend me a fiver. Lend me some money. It's like, whereas let me have one. Makes more sense. So yeah, I think you're probably right. It's gone. Riding on the highway, playing rock and roll. Gonna do it my way. Going to the show. Get high, let's eat it up, get it beat up, broken bone. That's not even the right song, that's a telling pets. It's harder than it looks, cause it's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. I've not been Kit Kats to Shawarma Daft. I got a bit of plastic in Shawarma King and vowed never to return to Shawarma King. Also, they put an LEZ zone in, which means that I can't take, well, at the time I couldn't take the Panda in, but the Mighty Civic's far too big to go in. No, the wee kebab shop in down the road there is actually pretty good. I think the thing about kebabs is it's all to do with they put it on like a freshly made wrappy, kebabby, disco biscuit fucking naan bready type thing, and I've got good salad, and that's kind of, there's not really much else to it, right, is there? The Blue Lagoon is about to go. I bet it smells great though. The Station Hotel is next. Wow. Son of 5 inches. Got a lot of big guitars, yeah. I just think there's a dirty chat thing in here that I'm missing. Kebabs are halal. Not doner kebabs are not, but I don't like the idea of the halal meat. I'll tell you, no, I don't like that. I don't think that's humane. I think it's wrong. There you go. Did you listen to some country songs? You ever know about the country band named Nickelback? I don't know about them being a country band. I don't really know that much country. Country's not big here. Never really has been. Obviously a wee bit of Glenn Campbell and stuff like that, but we just don't get that. Oh, halal is a special blessing. Yeah, that's not that point though. But what they do is it's I'm not bothered with the blessing. You can say whatever you want when you stun the animal to kill it to make your kebab, but I don't want you to cut their neck and then watch them bleed slowly to death while you recite religious shite at them as they painfully die. So that's my issue. If the takeaway doesn't sell bacon, you know the shite they're selling is halal. Oh, there you go. I hadn't really thought of that, The animal is terrorised. Yes, I agree. I never really thought of that, to be honest. To be honest, in my defence, I don't think there's actually that much. By the time it gets to the making the kebab part of killing the animal, the animal's been dead for months. You know what I mean? When they're squishing the bones into the grid thing to get the meat out. Most KFCs in the UK are halal. It's almost impossible to eat now. Is that evil shit is everywhere? Dear me, that's terrible. How about a best rock band named Skillet? Actually, yeah. Oh no, I don't know. No, I don't know Skillet. I'm thinking of Skiltron. They've got a song called Bagpipes of War that's really good, and they're from like South America, but they dig the Scottish thing, so they've got kilts and they sing about Highland War and shit. Same as Gravedigger from we're just not allowed to think of ourselves as being cool, so it's like there's no Scottish people that think, oh, that's cool, and there's lore, and it's like so exciting, whereas like there's Germans and shit going, pure all wild barred warriors and castles and shit, it's all pure excellent like that. Yeah, but we're not allowed to think about that, so we don't. Don't eat no kebab. Well, yeah. You're talking about doner meat. Yes, I guess I hadn't really thought of that. Hey, John, Gravedigger, the monster truck. No, but there is a band called Gravedigger who were actually, me and my pals just happened to see it. They're like a Scottish band, but none of them are Scottish at all. They just dress up like Highlanders and sing songs about Robert the Bruce. But they were fucking massive in Germany. They headlined Wacken one night, like in 2010 or something like that, in their big reformation. Mental. They're also really fucking good. Also, supermarkets now selling halal meat in Eatereebos. So how does that work into the? Is that part of the reason I've been out of the EU, where we no longer have to do the, the humane shit? Don't know if the kebab meat's sitting there all day. All day? It stays there for an awful lot longer than that. I don't think there's that. Again, I think it's that questionable meat where there's not really that much meat in it. Like, even though the actual meat content is lips and assholes, I think there's a lot of, like, cornbread and shit like that in it. There's a tremolo in this roaster is an Ibanez Edge licensed thing. So this is before Steve I suggested you cut out the back, so it doesn't do much of an upbend. But enough. You'll have noticed I've not even attempted to tune this tonight because it just stays. A boss guy named Bruce Springsteen He was born in the USA, I believe. The one I do like is the do they stun haggis before they fry them? Yes. Of course they're humanely caught. And they're also shot in the head while bagpipe music plays and the chories are recited. Oh, cruel is the snow that blows on Glencoe. Yep. He could charge on too much. You don't need to use the 24 frets. You've noticed me not ever going up there. The thing is, I know, I get it. It looks cool playing up here, right? To people who don't play the guitar, look, playing up there. Why else would you be up there? It doesn't sound as good. The strings are too taut. They're kind of a bit. It's a different tone, but it's not as good as a tone as it is in the middle. When you're in the middle, you can bend the string and there's tons of bend in it. But I think... beat the haggis with a chib first, yeah, totally. I use a shinty stick and batter it down the hill. Is the CSL still a top 4 guitar in your collection? Did I say that the CSL was a top 4 guitar in my collection? I assume we're talking about the Black Telecaster. To be honest, no, I don't think it is. But I mean, I don't think it ever was. Maybe it depends on what week it is. That is good. There's Stevie. See, that's the problem. I've been peer pressured into putting better pickups in it, but I kind of quite like these. They've got a sound. I'm about to come to the end of Ramadan where they celebrate by sorting the sheep in their back gardens. Barbaric. You submit not spring big because it wears out the frets. Well, I mean, I suppose there's an argument you could be said for that, yeah. It's only for showing off, but I think it is. I mean, I've done it sometimes. There's no money after the 15th fret. Had a Sir Modern Antique similar to the Guthrie Sir model. Kazel Jackson Becker numbers just can't get down to the 24 frets. So must start. I mean, you're talking about guitars that cost 10 times as much as this though, and this is probably just as good. I don't know. Some people find out. It depends on how many guitars you're used to. Some people will just, if you're totally used to playing your Telecaster and it's the only guitar you've played for 10 years, it was very difficult to play anything else. It's like pure use a shot of a Strat, and it's like, oh, but the bridge is in a different place, the knob's in a different place, you're just used to it. I'm used to skirting about over too much stuff, so it doesn't really make any difference to me. 24 frets. To be honest, maybe the neck pickup. I think there's probably more. I would probably have had a choice. I would probably have the 22 because it means the neck pickup would be up here and below the node, so the neck pickup would sound better, but it doesn't really matter, does it? A wee white was LYX Pro, a wee white Stratocaster, was it? Good. But that Woody Sir, I think, built my Schecter bass. Sir and what's his face? Sir and Tom Anderson were working for Schecter when a couple of my guitars got built. But I mean, if you see a Ibanez Roadster, there's better ones and not as good ones, but they're all good. You know, they're all. My pal just sold his FGN telly. You get 325 quid for it, for like just a black, well, modern, same as mine. Perfect was black humbucker in the neck, and that's how much it was worth. And the guy was like, I was looking at Mexican ones and stuff like that. And you're like, well, fucking, it's honestly. The gulf between a Mexican telly and an FGN telly is bigger than the gap between the classic vibe and the Mexican. Do you know what I mean? With the FGN being higher up. I found on Facebook posted 4 guitars saying, well, I think I have enough now. it's just naivety, isn't it? I mean, he'll learn. It's like, it gets down to the point where you just, I mean, 4 guitars, it's like, what is 4 guitars? It's like, 4 guitars is typically the number of guitars I'm moving at one time from over there to over there kind of thing. You know, it's like 2 in each hand. Or what is how many guitars I'm taking out to the car or coming out from the car with. It does get silly, obviously. When you get to a point, I'm at it. You know, when I've been sitting there with I've got a few collections. There you go. What do you collect? It's like, no, I don't really collect. Not all my guitars are Japanese, but I collect Japanese guitars. I've got, I don't know, half a dozen American ones and half a dozen Korean-y, Chinese ones, probably. I don't know. Happy with 4 guitars for 20 years and discovered. The problem is they're fun though, and it's like you can sell them if you're clever with it. You know, it's like you're not different if you're buying brand new ones and you're going out and, you know, spending £1,000 on a Fender Strat and doing that all the time, because that's not going to be worth £1,000 when you sell it. But if you're buying things that are relatively sensible, and even to the point of maybe not being a guitar tech, what you can do is when you buy it, you take the strings off, and you give it a really good clean, then you put strings on it and you tune it up, and then it's worth more than when you bought it. And you get to enjoy it. So you can keep it for a year and sell it on, and how much did that cost you? Nothing, I made 50 quid. That's what I tell myself. It did feel nice in springtime like today, yes. But a bass binge. I can't help, I'm too much into it. 11 guitars and I'm overwhelmed. Well, it gets funny. I mean, I know you're bass binge. I mean, I've decided that really the only basses I like are P basses. Well, they don't have to be P bass shape, but the P bass pickup is a necessity. 70s all balls and bags of cat. There you go. The justification you've got is by colour. Well, I like to Kit Kats. That's one of the avenues. Yes, I do have. I bought this guitar. I think, to be honest, I was doing the naive thing, which I'm sure some of you may not realise it's a naive thing, maybe still do this, but I figured that what I need to have a guitar. This one looks cool as fuck. But wouldn't it be handy to have a guitar that's got 24 frets and a Freud Rose in case I ever record something where I want to use a whammy bar? So that was my excuse for having this. Actually, it was still the one in, so I sold a Honda H762, which was basically kind of this shape, but it was a hardtail. So I kind of got most of it. In fact, I actually made money swapping from that Honda up to this. Yeah, I hadn't really thought of that. Yeah, I sold it to exactly the right guy. The guy was in tears when he bought it. But I was still thinking, oh, I need a guitar with a Floyd Rose. 12 guitars. I think I've only ever sold 2. Well, for 50 guitars, but I'm happy. But remember, slowly they're not. It's like, you know, justifying it to the god of cheesy rock when you're in front of cheeses. You can just say, well, for your 50 guitars, you really are talking about, I bet you could have bought a Gibson Les Paul and a Fender Strat, an American Strat, and a Martin Acoustic instead of all of them. And I know you've got a Gibson Les Paul, so that's already in that lot. 22 frets, or split the distance, 23. Did you know there are actually 23 fret guitars? I don't know why, but the Corker has 23. I haven't played the Corker actually. Seeing as he's out for a wee blast, see if it sounds better than this Ibanez and whether I should be changing the pickups in this Ibanez. I still don't know whether I should or not. Oh, fucking legs hurt from getting out on that bike. Yeah, I'm not playing a Japanese guitar. An American guitar. Imagine asking someone to build a 23-foot guitar. Well, there you go. I don't know. Is it a thing? I just assumed that maybe they'd ran out. They decided they want to put a wee bit more. I don't know. What? That's nutty. Yes, this is an interesting guitar. It's a corker, but they do exist. I got it when I went to America. I stayed with a guy, Bill, who owned a guitar shop, and he was in hospital when I was there on holiday. I just looked after his shop for a week, and he gave me this guitar because I was the only person that ever looked at it. But it's one piece of burrow walnut. It's pure ridiculous. One piece body and all that, wooden back. It's just, and look at that neck join, and it's like the neck's it's just fucking amazing. Only one in the world. The other corker guitars I've seen have been like Strats. I've seen a couple of Strats, a couple of Tellys, and a sort of Les Pauly thing. This is none of those things. Yep. Bought one Gibson, but at least it was a prototype, so it's still interesting. I used to Aria brand guitar and cash converter when it was like... It depends. Aria kind of... They did... In the 80s, in the 70s and 80s, they were Japanese and they were fucking amazing. And then when it started getting in the mid-80s, they started competing with their cheap guitars. So you did all... I think you still get really good Aria guitars, but they make £100 Strats and have done since the 80s, you know what I mean? So you do get budget Strats and Tellys and all that. 2001 era, yeah, they wouldn't be Japanese anymore. Well, check out Laudo Guitars, Southern New Jersey. Great guy. I can't remember where this comes from. I bought it in Pennsylvania, but it's from Oregon. The Oregon they're made. I can't remember. It's a guy who makes them, and he's got like a reverb shop, but he hasn't had any guitars on. I don't know. I think the shop's... He's a guitar shop, but the guy used to make guitars when the shop wasn't busy or something like that, and he would make one-off things. This just has that thing which you don't get with any factory guitars, as far as I'm aware, where everything's just overly excessive and had tons of time spent on it. The fancy parts are part of it, but it's just the amount of time that's going into this. It's ridiculous. Mark will talk about the wooden cavity cover. The wooden cavity cover's pretty thick. It's also actually routed out on the back of the cavity cover. The cavity cover's that thick, so it's got like a lip that thick, and then it's that thick when it's actually routed out to take the backs of the pots. Yeah. Oh, you live in Pennsylvania? Actually, I even know PA. I almost called it Pennsyltucky there, which I was apparently is funny when you live there. So he's at Harrisburg. You know what that is? Guitar John. And then his daddy, the Monsters Rule. Oh, let me get back to that one. Can't go to sleep. My Gibson MK35. Is that the one? No. I'm thinking of the Mark III. I take it that's an acoustic. Outside of Philadelphia. I did actually go to Philadelphia at one point at the train station. And bought the most expensive thing in the world. Of course, you know Harrisburg. Well, there you go. That's where I was at. A place called BL Guitars on the main street in Harrisburg. Go in there and say Malco says hi. Sorry, I had to go to that city. I didn't have to be there. It was just in the train station, and it was £28 or $28 for a shit Pret a Manger sandwich. But it was all right. Your public transport, the Greyhound bus and all that wasn't cheap like the way it is in films. Where you think, yeah, I got on the Greyhound bus, I was expecting it to be like, $20, and it was. It's like 180. What? But it's only an hour. What the fuck? Yeah, I think in order to get these things, the same as here, all private companies, so it is technically possible to get one seat or possibly two seats on that bus if you put 8 months in advance, and it's at 7 o'clock in the morning and only on a Tuesday, every second Tuesday. You know what I mean? Philadelphia, I like their cheese. Never thought about it. We did actually. I didn't actually get a Philly cheesesteak. I did get a Philly cheesesteak pizza in New York, though. Does that count? The Spanish versus Highlander. There can only be one. I like it. Yeah. It's very good. I made a really good joke the other day. What was it? I can't remember. It's really annoying. I made it up on the spot, though. One of those ones you have to repeat in case nobody knows. I just made that up, by the way. Oh, the Blue Lagoon has gone. Well, do you like the garlic Philadelphia? I never buy it because the thing is, it's like I'm always a bit skeptical about how long I've had it in the fridge, and if it's got the green bits in it, it always looks like there's something wrong with it. Oh, that's not the garlic, that's the herby one. No, I found a better one, Kit Kats. It was what's got nine arms and sounds shite. Did I say that last week? I can't remember. I thought it was quite good though. No, I think it was in a messenger thing with pals and download. What's got 9 arms and sounds shite? Yeah. It was Silly Dan. Def Leppard, yes, I think I did say that last time, yeah. I don't even know if they do. I've had to say 9 arms, or I don't know how many people there are in Def Leppard. I don't care, because they're shite. Must throw a tub of butter out every month thinking I see mold. It's like, you get worried about these things. The thing is, I've been buying the cheap Philadelphia you get in Lidl. I can't remember what it's called. It's kind of it looks the same though. See, once it starts to go off, it goes pink. How does that happen? Like proper pink. It's like, oh, I must have been. What? No, why is it? I think I don't know if that's good. It's your Def Leppard joke, right? So I've not bought any guitars either. Got a few for sale. I'm looking for a bass. Pink mold is just down to the bacteria, different type of bacteria. Yeah. You ever seen the mold? Yeah. So there's various amounts of mold that are all horrible. Yeah. I'm no into the fusty smell like. Bad. To be fair, I'm feeling quite drunk, but maybe that's just last night. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to be pure dead. Do you buy guitars? I don't. Do you want to Victory? I've kind of moved on a bit. I used to scour eBay and stuff like that. The thing is that they're there. I stopped looking for them, but they're there. These guitars pop up, and basically what I found out, this is after a few years, I started realising that see if it's made in Japan in the early 80s, it doesn't really matter what make it is, it's going to be fucking brilliant. And it's pretty much that's it. See if it's from 1983, made in Japan. It might be a different shape, but it'll be fucking brilliant. And it's like at the time I was managing to pick them up for sort of sub 100 quid, 150 quid kind of thing. And it's like, that's how much you can buy the cheapest guitar you can for. Getting carried away. Yeah, the problem is, it's like, you can pick up your amazing stuff. It's just like, for bassist, I ate some Mexican green sauce. No, it was green mold. Almost died. Nice. I remember buying, or not buying. There used to be when I was staying with Mum and Dad years ago. I remember there was a tin of Mexican style. Was it mung beans or something like that? And I cooked them, or refried beans they were called. And I thought they might be all right, and I put them in. And after a day and a half of them, it was like, I don't know if I like, because I'd never had refried beans. I don't know if I really like to taste them, and they were 6 years out of date when I took the thing out the bin later on. And then obviously that night, I don't think I was actually ill, but I was in terror from it, just thinking I've just eaten half a tin of 6 years out of date beans. I wouldn't have said I was ill, but I definitely kept burping up the most horrible mouldy beans flavour for ages. I've had Philadelphia do that as well, yeah. Sort of vintage brand guitar for $75. I think that's probably all right. Vintage guitars are good. Those SGs, the SGs are excellent. Was it a vintage? There's a vintage Les Paul Special 2P90 in yellow Les Paul I really like. I ate a cake walk home in the dark thinking it tastes funny. Last one was in the light and it Oh dear. Yeah. Ignore all dates if it looks good, smells good. Okay, but it's best before and used by. Tinned, you won't die. Yeah. Well, it's like, there's got to be some sort of line in there. I mean, it's like, oh, those crisps are a couple of months out of date. Do you know what I mean? Or it's like, ooh, I don't know how long that whiskey's been there. There's nothing in there that's going to... The worst thing you're going to get with crisps or something like that is if it's a bit soggy or doesn't taste as good. It's not got bacteria and shite in it. And things like a pot noodle. I don't think there's enough actual vegetable matter in that to actually be unedible. The thing with the... Well, see what I think's happened there? I think maybe see the alcohol in the Madeira sinks below the Bucky. So I think I've basically, even though I'd had like Bucky and that Madeira in it, I think I'm now on the Madeira, which is twice as strong. That was an entire Goosebump City. Eggs can be good weeks after the use by date. I just test them in a glass of water as long as it doesn't float. It's perfectly okay. Alright, okay. I thought you would just eat aged fish sauce, no problem. Oh, there you go, yeah. A century egg. Well, I think I have heard of that, yeah. I'm really missing being able to smoke in these streams. Well, just because I've got my own rules. Why does salt have a use by date? It takes millions of years to form because they put shit in it to make it shit. It's not real salt, Alex. But yes, I totally get what you mean. I do remember it used to say in talking about pot noodles, actually used to get the soy sauce. It was like there's sometimes crystals in it, but that's just purely a natural thing that happens. It's just salt coming out and turning into crystals from inside it. They're not like I think people used to complain about that. Mind you, pot noodles aren't great. I see they've got cheaper again, and I bought them and it wasn't good. Salt does not expire. I don't think. Well, it doesn't freeze either. I think this is actually making me sweat. I tried to eat a 100-year-old egg for 100 quid. Bet I couldn't do it, but you couldn't do it, or somebody bet that you could do it for 100 quid. Your Marshall Amp GR15R spring reverb in it. They used to have that, yeah, totally. You can smoke in camera, no, but I can't smoke in... I'm trying to be classy here and smoking on the kitchen window. It was a bet. Did you actually bet into it, or did you just not do it? A century egg is not 100-year-old, right? Is it just... I don't know. I mean, the thought of some cheeses is pretty horrible. That was my belt hitting off the back of the corker here. Look at the kitchen window. Classy here in Kilsyth. I'm not in fucking some scumville. We didn't make it onto North Lanarkshire's top 10 turd towns. No mention of Kilsyth on that at all. You could see the wee fetus in the clear green yolk. Yeah, I think that's probably crossed the line for me as well. £100 though. It's like... I mean, that's the thing, was like, would I do it for £100? I don't know, but if you gave me £1,000, 10 grand, I'll geese it. I don't care. You know what I mean? But there you go, I don't know. Yeah, I prefer for only a few weeks or a few months. Guilty pleasure, horse meat fries. That's what you get in Europe. I mean, there was a big thing here about Findus crispy pancakes having horse meat in them, and it's like, oh, and it's like, I honestly don't really know the difference between eating a horse and eating a deer. Really? Or a cow? A curing process involving a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime and tea creates a jelly-like alkaline egg in about 10 days. Even if I didn't know anything about it, would you like a jelly-like alkaline egg? No. No. I wouldn't be 100 years old, but I mean, no. No. Oh. Sorry, I'm going to blow my nose. Oh, God. But no, what's that thing? It's not a thing in France where you can eat like a bird that's still in the egg and you have to put a tea towel over your head. You just crunch through the bones. No. The most disgusting thing I've ever seen. When I was in China, we went to a hot pot place, and okay, this was like an iPad thing where you chose what you wanted to get to put in your hot pot, and it was monkey brains, and because it was quite good. It had a big, it's because it was an iPad. It had big pictures of all the food, and the picture it had that zoomed in on was literally, imagine exactly what you think two brains that size sitting on a grill look like. Exactly that. Didn't do it. Did I try I was going to try the Wagyu beef. I've never tried Wagyu beef, but it was so fucking expensive. It was the same price as the whole meal for me and Civet just to get Wagyu beef as one of the 10 things that I'd ordered. So never did it. But it's a big thing. In the real world, I would probably eat eggs and some fish. English pork pies, that jelly around the meat. Oh. Just don't think about it. That smelly Scandinavian tin fish. I've heard of that stuff. The smoked super mega out of date fish. Yeah, I've heard of that. I've seen, folks sitting outside on the beach. Like a couple of, one guy to the camera, a couple of guys to the camera going, all right, we're going to open this, and there's folks sitting, their pals are sitting inside, they just open it, and then instantly everyone was just pure just vomiting and running away as soon as it's opened, never even been near it. Jack, pork pies are quite good. I don't dislike them. Fermented fish, yeah. Surströmming, that sounds a bit like it. Apparently it was meant to be a joke. Have you tried durian, the fruit? Never. Durian sounds like something at Lord of the Rings, though, I'm sure. That's a mountain range or something, or a people. No, I heard that the fermented fish thing was a mistake the first time it was ever tried. It was some Scandinavian research vessel or something had it, and they left it on like an outpost on some island in the Arctic, and then 2 years or 3 years later or whatever it is, some other Americans or something, or British people found it, ate this fish and thought it was great, and they were like, where'd you get this fantastic out of date fish? And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about, you bunch of weirdos? And apparently that's it. That's where that came from. It's just the thought of it. If you burnt it off, oh dear. Worcester sauce was an accident as well, possibly. A little foie gras back in the day in France when family lived there, farm fresh. Foie gras, it's not spelled, it's Fois in it, but I don't even know what it is. Doesn't sound very manly. So you're finding that thing. So you're a French American then? Supposed to be extremely tasty. I don't know. No. Yeah, but does tasty not mean strong tasting, or does tasty mean good tasting? I don't know. Sailor sailed all the way to China and tried durian and said it was worth it to trip alone. Eating durian was the 1700s or so. All right. I don't know. I didn't try that in China. I mean, we did go to the market a few times and all that shit, and it was like what I know as fruits. You know what I mean? You get like an orange and a lime and a lemon. and a grapefruit, and that's kind of most of the things. Maybe I suppose tangerines and shit like that. You know, there's a few different types of tangerines and satsumas. In China, there's 50 different types of orangey thing, going from green through yellows and whites to orange and red, starting about the size of a football for a big yellow orange. And there's 50 different types of different thing that's, well, Civet that didn't have English names. Civet would just tell me it's a sort of like an orange. It's like a citrus fruit. Like, yeah, I know it's a citrus fruit. What's it called? And it was like, yeah, all right, well, doesn't have an English name. I've tried blue cheese a couple of times. I don't know if I absolutely love it. Duck and green liver. I can't see green cheese. Persimmons. Goose liver. I do like patty. Some things you better not. When I was a kid, I used to love tongue. Like, get from the butcher. I don't think I ever. It was called. I wasn't stupid. It was called tongue, right? And obviously, I knew that we ate cows, but I never really put it really literally was tongue. I used to really like it. More awareness about cheese blindness. Just don't know that much about cheese. I haven't had a cheese board forever though. Potted head, pâté. Foie gras. Is it just Patty? The last dodo bird was eaten by the ship sent to rescue him. Supposedly two justices had done it, yes. I heard that it was the thing, goat's head soup, or just a sheep's head. Aye, no. We're talking about, you're right into Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom territory there for all the things that you just don't want to eat. No, the thing was, I saw it on QI one time, and they were talking about the giant sea turtles, and it was like hundreds of years they were known about, like 200 years, and they'd never managed to get one back to the British National Museum or the zoo or whatever it was, you know what I mean, that the Victorians wanted to see. They should never get it back, and the only descriptions they could get were absolutely delicious, like chicken times 100. So basically they never made it back because they were absolutely delicious. So apparently big Galapagos sea turtles are like chicken but 10 times better. Like the first 100 that have been described, it's all about what they taste like. They never actually made one back. Like frogs' eggs, I don't know if there's really in it. I mean, obviously you get minging things like kebabs and stuff like that, but that's just like, that's kind of not intentionally the shittest bits. Or if you ever bought a McDonald's burger, or if you ever ate a hot dog, do you know what I mean? It's not like, that's not, it doesn't just tell you its elbows, you know what I mean? Alligator and shark, very good. I've had ostrich and kangaroo. No problem eating either of them, as long as I wouldn't eat shark's fin soup, obviously, because if you ever look up how they're made, don't just assume that it's awful and just believe me. I still have nightmares about that. Kangaroo can be death, I think so. I suppose, why not? I suppose it's like, how did they kill it? As long as they didn't slit its throat and then watch it slowly die while they're chanting Aboriginal shit at them. I don't think Aborigines would do that. I don't know if I'm really into extreme foods. You know what I mean? Blue Stilton and anchovies and toast. I can't believe anything that's got anchovies within 10 feet of it tastes good. Reindeer meat. Need no fridge really. Viking snacks. So is that kind of like basically jerky sort of stuff? Sounds quite good. Abalone. That's not, is that what you're talking about? Is that really that cruel? Sorry. Cheers, Andy. Enjoy Troon. I hope the weather was quite nice. It's probably starting to get quite nice now. I don't know. Is abalone harmful to the environment or cruel? I don't know. Can you really be cruel to a snail? I suppose yes, you can. I had problems watching. I remember watching a program about was it Rick Stein or something? One of the TV chefs, and they were at Tarbert off Loch Fyne, going out catching mackerel, and they were basically just lifting the mackerel out the water and just throwing them into the boat and watching them die slowly and suffocate like that. Sick bastards. Couldn't do that. Rustler burgers contain some exotic cuts. I think so. But again, it's like how much of the actual burger meat is with the best and most biased thinking and description actually meat, and how much of it is like cornbread or something, do you know what I mean? And I'm including fat in the meat. It's probably 50-50, and of the actual meat, 45% says fat. I don't know. Textured. I do like beef. It says, yes. So you get the jail for doing that to fish. Yeah, I mean, okay, fish are thick, I get it. And if you are eating it, then okay, you've got to kill it to eat it. But just to let it just die there. Like, the guy was just sitting in the boat, just bringing them in. No sporting it at all, just bringing them in 5 at a time on mackerel lures. Taking them off the hooks and just throwing them in the boat, sitting up to his knees in 100 dying fish. That's lovely. I don't even duck unless it's a wild one that's been shot. All ducks reared for food in the UK are kept in sheds and slaughtered 10 weeks old. I didn't know that. I don't know it. I don't really eat that much duck though, but duck eggs, if you've ever, well, the wee guy, we used to, did a house in Dunoon, the guy next door had like a wee shed with ducks and chickens and he had eggs, and the duck eggs, but some of them were blue, were just amazing. The best eggs I've ever had. Slightly bigger and dead. I don't want to sound disgusting, but dead, sort of creamier, sort of thicker, or just like much better eggs. And but that was ones, you know, hatched in a farm yesterday down the road. You know what I mean? A fur burger right about now. Plants feel pain too. Duck eggs are really good, but I mean, I don't see. There's actually quite a lot of ducks kicking about in Kilsyth. I just went down and I took a bit of my roll and pinged it in. The 2 ducks just looked up at me like that. The fuck you doing? I was like, I'm fucking trying to give you some bread, you wee bastards. They just didn't even bother. Salted chicken eggs. Oh, a wee tiny bit of salt. It's one of the few things I think I like to put salt on. Have you seen the wee mud skippers? Cutest wee things you'll ever see. I think I know what mud skippers are. There's actually a TV, a radio show called Starship Mud Skipper I really like. Right, I'm going to wind it up because honestly, I was up last night. I had nearly a whole bottle of Bucky. I got up this morning, just pure stupid early, and I felt fine. You know, but it was happy. That's really bizarre. I had a whole bottle of Bucky and I feel fine. And then gradually, when it got after lunch, I started getting a little bit, and then I was back in bed. So I'll just finish off my. Here, Kit Kat's you're fucking young. You see when she start getting old, drinking more than a whole bottle of Bucky in a week. Jesus. Yeah, I'm just worried I'm going to get a delayed hangover till tomorrow. I think I've probably suffered a bit. Oh God. That Madeira's tough when you get to the end of the bottle. I do feel sort of slightly moist and a bit stiffer. Duck fat on the air fryer chips and put it down in the oven. Barf. I've heard duck fat. I don't know. Maestro by Gibson, Les Paul Jr. for 200. I don't think they would. Oh, is that about, I think they're about £100. So I don't know. I've got a feeling that Australian dollars are about 3 to 1. So it's like $300 is £100. So that's all they cost new. I remember my pal being really impressed when he bought the Maestro, and in the catalogue, because it's actually by Gibson, the first page is a 1958 Les Paul, which is $7,000, and then it goes on. If you like pina colada, I've heard, I do believe he does like pina colada. Get pretty good reindeer dried meat and heavy smoked bacon. Moose, amazing. We don't eat moose in Scotland. There's a moose loose about this house. So is that you, Yoka? Are you starting to see the sun again? I've been noticing the last couple of weeks. The sun is now daylight at 8 o'clock, which is lovely. It's like pure wow, fantastic, and it's still daylight at 5 o'clock. Like, yay! Rather than it being fucking dark. Although in saying that, was it yesterday? I think we've just got really, really black clouds. Sometimes it never really seemed to get very bright. So I think I'll put up some. I went to a Roman fort. Hey, bedweppers. You're going out in the tent soon? What does out in the tent mean? Right, I'm going to kill it at that. I'm going to... Could do with going to the bog, to be honest. Oh. Any last messages before we retire? Catch us all, and I will see you on the bike with my sore legs. I've got to prove it to you that I did actually cycle 6 miles. No lights, not much yet. Soon. I see you're camping on the top of Butte. Oh, nice. I'm pretty sure I saw Aaron from the Roman Hill Fort just up on top of that hill. I cycle, like I basically, Alex there, lovely chap, gave me a bike, which I've been messing about on the wee dirt roads on the old railway lines here. I do not wear spandex, and I do not go on main roads causing havoc and trying to kill myself. So I'm not a proper cyclist. I refuse to wear spandex. Well, unless it's my spandex bucky jumper, in which case I will wear it. Parisian walkies. What you want to do is try and if you get the right live version of him playing Parisian Walkways, you can probably get the bit where he goes, and then go for a walk and come back and he'll still be doing it. I think his record's like a minute or 2 minutes or something like that. Bikes are fun. Well, I'm enjoying it because I'm not trying to do it to get fit. I am, but I'm just not going to go out when it's horrible or rainy where I don't enjoy myself. Spandex, I did see you can get on Temu. You can get shorts which you've got like baboon's arse on them, and it kind of looks a bit like, see if you had a diagram of where your bum hurts from sitting on a seat. That's what it looks like, with the red bits, which are the cushion bits, and the bits that look like probably hurt. So I'd maybe try and get them. Clean and chorus spandex next. Well, maybe spandex, an electric bike. Axl Rose and like a short circuit, but yeah, that's why I don't. Basically, that's why I think I still immediately thought Guns N' Roses were shite. He was dancing about. I seem to remember having a headband and a microphone with one like a big afro on it, like a white one, whatever video that is, and it was like they were all. Slash was standing there looking so cool, and it was like, wow, fucking amazing, yeah. Oh, this is brilliant. And I was just going like at 12, going, mate, you're shite. What's that poofy looking guy dancing about with fucking hot pants on? It says heavy metal, but this is gay, is what, because I'd heard Richie Blackmore's Rainbow. That's not Gates of Babylon. That's not Long Live Rock and Roll. That's poofy shite. Get all the blaspheming in at the end there, and all the things that'll get... Yeah, but you're a girl, so it's alright, Sloaney, you know what I mean? I can't judge you for that. I mean, we all us guys had the poster of the white Lamborghini Countach, obviously. Same sort of thing. Just another manic Monday. Rock on. Love y'all. Miss y'all.